It really feels amazing how directors, writers, game developers, and many more are there. They create a fiction world in their mind and they put it in movies that you have seen, the books you have read, and the games you have played, like Harry Potter, The Lord of the Rings, The Witcher, and many more. And the relationship that you develop between the characters, it really feels something different. And if you are a fan of gaming, then you know that there are different genres of games where role-playing games are one of them. Role-playing games are the only one where the players uh, are put into the shoes of one or more characters, and they faces all sorts of larger difficulties, challenges, many more. Many of the RPG that were developed earlier, at least consoles, were developed in Japan. So over time, there are two dominant styles that have emerged based on their origin. You know that Japanese RPG, which we call a JRPG, which I don't know much about that. I haven't played uh, much games, and the another one is Western RPG, which we will talk about in this video. So as a genre, RPG has been through quite a journey, evolving from different circumstances and making some of the greatest games ever made. So in fact, their influences has been so great that you can see RPG elements on other genres also. For example, the first person shooter like Destiny features the significant of RPG elements. You'll just think that how vast the RPG genre is, that from in late 1980s, from Dragon Quest to now The Witcher, Elder Scrolls. So we can say that RPG has left their mark on gaming industry more than any other genre have. And it makes sense also that you will find a wide range of experience in one genre. And if you are a fan of RPG, you have no doubt seen some of those some games classified as RPG that you would not consider as such. So no doubt you have wondered about games that claim that they have RPG elements, but what exactly are those elements? How many RPG elements does a game have to move from the realm of action, adventure, story, strategy, or any other genre of realm of RPG? Should a game that only has a few RPG elements can be considered as one? So let's dig into this question. What makes a great RPG? What are the core elements that could transfer a game into a RPG genre? So hey guys, my name is Sam and welcome to this channel. If you are new here, subscribe to it and press the bell icon for any notification, and let's start today's video. So settings. Many of the RPG games that we have seen start with a great settings. By settings, I doesn't mean that the art that is used to create a map that the players explore. I mean the history, the geography, the cultures, the technology, factions, lore, and many other that inspires the players and make them wanted to get involved. So any great settings can be a great start for an RPG. For example, the Elder Scrolls, Witcher World, Star Wars, many more which are being turned into role-playing games. If you are exploring a world filled with interesting geography, races, faction, character building is the only way to try out these features for yourself. If you ask me, I personally prefer RPGs which gives me a complete control over my characters, appearance, skills, equipments, gender and race. The more control I have, the more connected I feel to the environment. story is the most important aspect of all genres of games, not only for an RPG. So if the player is going to spend hours of gameplay, then the story needs to be compelling. The worst thing an RPG do is to fail to hold the player's interest. So, an interesting story, a compelling plot, this all gives a huge challenge for game designers. Battle system. RPG, especially battles, are a regular occurrence. So, they are an event that the players will encounter many a times in the game. So, it's important to keep the players motivating in the game, maybe by adding new abilities, spells, or giving them any of a reason to search the world around them. If you have a character in a setting, the first thing you are going to do is to explore the game world. However, explorations involves more than just moving around the map. An important part of exploration is how interactive the world is and how dynamic it feels. If you can pick up many different kind of objects, move them around, open doors, containers, interact with AIs, turn lights, the worlds need to feel much more real than the world that only allows you to interact with a limited number of quest objects. Similarly, a dynamic weather, a realistic day or night cycles, moving water, and all the appropriate ambient noises will feel much more alive and inviting. So most of the RPG have some sort of quest or mission mechanic that gives your character a reason to get out and explore the world and gain experience using your skills. Quests are important because they extend the length of the game in a meaningful and fun way. So games with more quests take longer to complete and allow your character to progress more. So generally speaking, the better the quest, the better the RPG. Consequences is that element that allows your actions as a player to shape the world that you are exploring. If it doesn't matter which dialogue option you choose and your choice has a little consequences, why it's been called as an RPG game. Dialogue should reflect on your character and shape the opinion of NPC and alter the game world in more or less than a permanent ways. These are some of the points that I think makes a great RPG. So ultimately, RPG is about making choices. Sometimes it's about choosing the character that you play, and sometimes it's about choosing the path that pre-made character takes. So that's all for today's video. Hope you liked it. If you have any other suggestions or points, write down in the comments below, and see you in the next video.